Have you ever felt a storm rising inside you? A force you can't quite name? Something wild, something ancient, something dangerous yet irresistibly beautiful? That is the dark feminine, the part of you that has been buried for lifetimes. The part that was told to be silent, to behave, to be nice. But deep inside she's been waiting, watching, and now she's ready to rise. For centuries, society has worshipped the image of the light feminine, the gentle nurturer, the caretaker, the healer. She is love, compassion, patience, forgiveness. She smiles even when she's breaking. She stays quiet even when she's burning. But the dark feminine, she is not here to comfort. She is here to transform. She is Kali. She is Lilith. She is Persephone. She is the woman who walks into the underworld not to die but to remember who she truly is. When you feel anger rising in your chest, that is her voice. When you feel desire pulsing through your body, that is her song. When you feel the urge to destroy everything false and start over, that is her power. But most of us were taught to fear her, to believe that darkness means evil, that desire is shameful, that rage is dangerous. So we buried her beneath layers of guilt and obedience. We tried to be good girls. We smiled when we wanted to scream. We gave when we had nothing left. Until one day the body begins to remember, the soul starts to ache, and the heart whispers, "There's more to me than this." Dark feminine energy is not about destruction. It's about rebirth through destruction. It's about burning the illusions that keep you small. It's about saying, no more. Because before you can become the woman who builds worlds, you must first become the woman who can burn one down. Think of your emotions like water. You can freeze them into ice, cold, still, lifeless. Or you can let them flow, fierce, untamed, unstoppable. The dark feminine flows like a river that has remembered its course. She doesn't ask for permission. She just moves. In the journey of the twin flames, this energy plays an even deeper role. When the dark feminine awakens within you, it shakes the very foundation of your connection. You begin to see your twin not just as your mirror of love, but also as your mirror of pain. He triggers your insecurities, your jealousy, your unhealed wounds. And you might ask yourself, why does love hurt so much? But the truth is, he's not here to hurt you. He's here to reveal you, to bring your shadows to the surface, to make you face the parts of yourself you've denied for too long. The dark feminine doesn't chase. She attracts. She doesn't beg for love. She commands it through her presence. She knows that her worth is not up for negotiation. When she walks into a room, people feel her. Not because she's loud, but because her energy whispers, "I remember who I am." And maybe that's the most terrifying, most liberating thing of all, to finally remember yourself. Let's talk about the emotions you've been told to suppress. Your desire, they told you it's dangerous. But what if desire is the language of the divine feminine calling you home? Desire doesn't mean greed. It means aliveness. It means your soul still wants to dance, to taste, to create. Your anger, they told you it's unladylike. But what if anger is sacred fire? What if it's the energy that says, this is not right. I deserve better. That's not destruction. That's creation through boundaries. Your shadow, they told you to hide it. But what if your shadow is just the part of you that needs love the most? Not to be fixed, but to be seen. The dark feminine doesn't need to heal herself. She simply remembers that she was never broken. She doesn't need validation. She is validation. And once you meet her, truly meet her, you stop playing small. You stop explaining yourself. You stop apologizing for existing. Because you finally understand, your darkness is not a curse. It is the soil in which your light was always meant to bloom. Every woman has a moment when her dark feminine begins to awaken. Maybe it's after heartbreak. Maybe it's after betrayal. Maybe it's the night she realizes no one is coming to save her, and she decides to save herself. That moment when you rise from your knees, when you wipe your tears and say, I will not be the victim anymore. That's when she is born. Not out of hatred, but out of remembrance. She is the woman who says, I am both the wound and the healer, the chaos and the calm. Let's pause here and ask yourself, what have you been taught to hide about yourself? What do you call too much? Too emotional? Too sexual? Too intense? Maybe that's exactly where your power lives. The dark feminine whispers, stop trying to be light for others. Be whole for yourself. Dark feminine energy isn't about being dominant, manipulative, or cold. It's about embodiment, being so present in your body that every movement, every breath, every word you speak carries truth. When you integrate her, you become magnetic, not because you seek attention but because your energy radiates authenticity. You stop chasing love, and love starts chasing you. In the twin flame journey, when the feminine awakens her shadow side, she no longer runs or chases. She stands still in her knowing. And it is in that stillness that the masculine finally feels safe to return. Because the divine union doesn't happen when you both become light. It happens when you both embrace your darkness together. That's what real unity is, not perfection but integration. You see, the dark feminine isn't here to make you someone new. She's here to help you remember who you've been all along. The goddess, the creator, the storm, the sanctuary. So tonight, when you feel that ache in your chest, when you feel your old patterns collapsing, don't fight it. That's not the end. It's the beginning, the rebirth. The moment your inner goddess finally opens her eyes and whispers, I am not afraid of my darkness, because my darkness is where I found my light. If these words awaken something inside you, if you feel her stirring within, remember to honor this journey. Like this video, share it with a sister who needs to remember her power. And subscribe for more stories about the awakening of the divine feminine and the twin flame journey. Because this is just the beginning of her return. Crescent moon. There is a place within every woman where the fire never dies. It flickers quietly when she's small, hidden beneath expectations, roles, and rules. But as life tests her, as love wounds her, as betrayal shatters her illusions, the flame begins to grow. It is not the light of gentleness. It is the fire of truth, raw, burning, untamed. This is the energy of desire, the rage of injustice, and the power of rebirth. This is where the dark feminine begins to speak clearly. They told you desire is dangerous. They told you rage is unbecoming. They told you power is selfish. And so you hid them one by one. You swallowed your desire until your voice trembled with emptiness. You silenced your rage until it curdled into guilt. You buried your power until it became shame. But energy cannot die. It transforms, waiting for the moment when you finally say, no more. Desire, rage, and power, these are not enemies of the soul. They are its messengers. Each one carries a key to the parts of you that have been locked away for centuries. Desire says, I want. Rage says, I deserve. Power says, I am. Together, they form the trinity of your awakening. Let's begin with desire. Desire is not sin. It is sacred. It is the pulse of creation itself. Before a flower blooms, it desires the sun. Before a soul incarnates, it desires experience. Before love finds you, it desires recognition. Desire is the whisper of life saying, I want to feel. I want to expand. I want to exist fully. But somewhere along the way, we were taught that wanting makes us selfish. We were told that good women wait, that they should be chosen, not choose, that they should be desired, not desire. And so we learned to suppress that current, to be small enough to fit inside someone else's idea of purity. But when the dark feminine awakens, she remembers, I am the one who desires. I am the one who calls things into being. Desire is not hunger. It's creation in motion. When you allow yourself to want without shame, you become magnetic. Not because you chase what you want, but because you vibrate at its frequency. That's why in the twin flame journey, desire feels both intoxicating and terrifying. You desire them with every cell of your being. Not just physically but energetically. Your souls recognize each other's fire. You want to merge, to dissolve, to remember unity again. But if your desire is rooted in fear, in lack, it burns you. If it is rooted in truth, it liberates you. So the dark feminine teaches you to transform desire from attachment into alchemy, to turn wanting into manifestation, to say, I desire not because I lack, I desire because I am infinite. Now let's talk about rage. Rage has always been the forbidden emotion. Women who express it are called hysterical, dramatic, unstable. But rage, true rage, is not chaos. It is sacred fire. It's the energy that rises when something within you says, "This is not right. This must change." Rage is not the opposite of love. It is love, refusing to tolerate disrespect. There is nothing dark about saying, "I've had enough." There is nothing unholy about protecting your boundaries. Your anger is the guardian of your soul. When a woman reclaims her right to feel anger, she stops being a victim of her story. She becomes the author. But remember, sacred rage doesn't destroy for the sake of destruction. It burns illusions, lies, manipulation, purifies. That's why the dark feminine is both feared and misunderstood. When she rises, falsehoods crumble, relationships shift, truth surfaces, and those who built their power on your silence tremble. In the twin flame connection, rage often erupts when your masculine mirror triggers your deepest wounds. You see him pulling away, rejecting, avoiding, and you feel the volcano inside you. But that anger is not against him. It's the part of you screaming, "Why did I abandon myself for love?" Let that rage burn, but let it burn the chains, not your heart. Channel it. Move with it. Dance it. Scream it. Rage is not your enemy. It's your awakening cry. And finally, power. True power is not control. It's not domination. It's embodiment. It's standing in your truth without apology. It's walking into a room and letting your energy speak before your words do. It's choosing peace, not because you're weak, but because you no longer need to prove your worth. For generations, women were told that power is masculine. That strength means hardness. That softness means weakness. But the dark feminine knows otherwise. Her power is like the ocean, fluid, unstoppable, ancient. It doesn't fight, pulls. She doesn't need to demand respect. She embodies it. And through that embodiment, she transforms everything around her. When you reclaim your power, you stop trying to be loved and start being love itself. That is the secret of magnetism. That is the essence of divine femininity. Desire, rage, power. Each of them is a portal back to yourself. But to walk through them, you must be willing to feel everything. To stop numbing the truth that lives inside your body. Your body is not your prison. It's your temple. Your emotions are not flaws. They are sacred languages. Every shiver, every heartbeat, every tear. They are messages from your divine self saying, "Come home." In the twin flame journey, when both the feminine and masculine energies awaken, they must face these very forces within. The feminine must reclaim her desire, her rage, her power. The masculine must face his fear, his control, his ego. Only then can they meet, not as half and half, but as two wholes merging in divine balance. It's not about chasing union. It's about becoming union. Because when you embody the dark feminine, you no longer wait for him to come back. You no longer question your worth based on his attention. You know deep in your bones that everything that is meant for you will find you. And it will find you because you've become the vibration of truth itself. To every woman listening, your desire is sacred. Your rage is holy. Your power is divine. You are not too much. You are the storm the world forgot it needed. So let yourself want. Let yourself feel. Let yourself rise. Not as the good girl they wanted, but as the goddess you were born to be. Because your darkness was never the enemy. It was the doorway, the initiation, the path back to your truth. And as you stand there between shadow and light, you realize something powerful. Your desire doesn't own you. It guides you. Your rage doesn't consume you. It frees you. Your power doesn't corrupt you. It completes you. This is the alchemy of the dark feminine. This is the moment you stop fearing yourself and start remembering that you are creation itself. If you feel this awakening within, don't silence it. Honor it. Trust it. Because this is not just your story. This is the story of every woman who ever dared to reclaim her fire. There is a part of you have never truly met. The part that whispers in the dark. That trembles in the quiet moments. The part you were taught to hide, to reject, to fear. We call it the shadow. But the shadow is not your enemy. It is the unclaimed, unloved, and misunderstood part of your soul. The dark feminine lives there. She is the part of you that remembers the fire, that remembers the desire, that remembers the power you once surrendered. And if you are willing to look, really look, you will find her waiting, not to harm you, but to lead you home. Shadow integration is the art of meeting yourself completely, not just the polished, socially acceptable version, not just the nurturing, light-filled self that everyone loves, but the whole raw, unfiltered, wild human you. This means facing the feelings you've buried, the jealousy you called weakness, the anger you called ugly, the desire you called shameful, the fear you called dangerous. And instead of hiding them, you allow them to exist. You let them speak. You let them breathe. You let them teach you. Imagine a room full of mirrors. Each mirror reflects a different part of you. Some are beautiful, polished, easy to look at. Some are cracked, darkened, frightening. Which mirrors do you avoid? Which parts of yourself do you refuse to see? Shadow work invites you to step into every reflection, to feel it, to love it, to say, yes, I see you. You are part of me, and I will not abandon you again. When a woman embraces her shadow, something magical happens. She no longer needs to seek validation outside herself. She no longer fears rejection, because she has faced the parts of herself she once hid. She no longer tolerates disrespect, because she knows her worth is intrinsic. And in this sacred reclamation, her energy transforms. Her presence is magnetic. Her voice carries authority. Her touch carries healing. Her gaze carries clarity. She has walked through fire, looked into the abyss, and returned whole. But shadow integration is not a one-time event. It is a journey, a practice, a dialogue. Begin by observing yourself. Notice the moments you react with intensity, rage, jealousy, sadness, desire. Instead of suppressing, ask, what is this trying to tell me? Journal these insights. Name the emotions. Do not judge them. Do not fix them. Simply acknowledge, I see you. I honor you. This is the beginning of loving your shadow. The dark feminine teaches us that what we fear in ourselves often mirrors what we fear in others. The twin flame connection amplifies this truth. Your twin reflects your unhealed wounds. If you fear abandonment, he triggers insecurity. If you fear rejection, he mirrors avoidance. If you fear desire, he awakens longing. These reflections are not punishments. They are opportunities to reclaim what was lost. By integrating your shadow, you break the cycle of projection. You stop blaming, chasing, or trying to control. You begin to respond from wholeness, not from fear. Shadow integration also dissolves shame. Shame is the invisible chain that keeps your desire hidden, your rage silent, your power dormant. It whispers, you are too much. You are not enough. You are broken. But when you embrace your shadow, you see clearly. Shame is not truth. Shame is a story you were told. And like all stories, it can be rewritten. Stand in front of your shadow and say, I am not ashamed of what I feel. I am not ashamed of who I am. I am not ashamed of my fire, my rage, my desire, my power. They are sacred. They are me. The process is not always comfortable. It requires courage. It requires patience. It requires being willing to feel the uncomfortable truths without running. And sometimes, it requires forgiveness, not just of others but of yourself. Forgiveness is not weakness. It is liberation. When you forgive yourself for suppressing your power, for silencing your rage, for hiding your desire, you reclaim energy that was once wasted. You reclaim life force that had been trapped, hidden, dormant. Let's consider a practical way to integrate shadow. Identify triggers. Notice situations or people that provoke strong emotional reactions. Ask, which part of me is being reflected here? Witness without judgment. Allow yourself to feel fully anger, fear, sadness, desire. Observe it like a scientist, not like a victim. Dialogue with your shadow. Close your eyes and imagine the part of you that reacts. Speak to it. Ask, what do you need? What are you trying to show me? Integrate. Let the shadow know it is safe. Let it know it is loved. Let it know it is necessary. Through these steps, the shadow becomes an ally, not an enemy. It transforms from a source of fear into a source of guidance. Shadow integration also amplifies creativity and sensuality. Your shadow carries the raw material of creation, unspoken desires, untamed energy, hidden dreams. When you allow these to flow through you, your art, your voice, your body, your relationships become expressions of authenticity. The dark feminine dances here. She does not apologize for her sensuality. She does not dilute her creativity. She does not fear her intuition. And when she dances, she awakens the world around her. In the context of twin flames, shadow integration is the key to true union. Without it, connections repeat cycles of hurt, projection, attachment, fear, jealousy. With it, the connection becomes a sacred mirror, reflecting growth, healing, and authenticity. The masculine learns to face his own shadow. The feminine learns to embody hers. Together, they experience love not as dependency, but as a meeting of two whole beings. Shadow integration is not a destination. It is a dance, a dialogue, a constant return to truth. Every time you face a fear, every time you feel a suppressed desire, every time you honor your rage, you step closer to becoming the full expression of the dark feminine. And in doing so, you awaken not just yourself, but the divine spark in everyone you touch. So remember, the parts of yourself you once feared are the parts you must love most. They are not shadows to destroy. They are gates to your power, desire, and freedom. Stand before your shadow. Breathe with it. Dance with it. Thank it. Because through this love you become whole. Through this integration you become invincible. Through this awakening you step into the dark feminine, fully, unapologetically, and eternally free. There is a dance that few understand. A dance older than time, older than memory, older than the earth itself. It is the dance of twin flames, the meeting of two souls who are mirrors of each other. One carries light, one carries darkness, and together they weave the tapestry of awakening. But do not be fooled. This dance is not simple. It is not gentle. It is not safe. Because when darkness meets light, the universe holds its breath. Your twin is not just a lover. They are a mirror, a reflection, a catalyst. They bring to the surface every fear, every wound, every desire you've tried to hide. And in doing so, they ask you a question that has no easy answer. Will you love yourself enough to face the truth? The light within you sees what is possible. It sees the beauty, the love, the joy that you were born to embody. It whispers, "You are enough. You are worthy. You are whole." The darkness within you sees what has been hidden, feels the rage, the pain, the betrayal, the unclaimed desires. It calls, "Face me. Claim me. Integrate me." The twin flame journey is the meeting of these energies, inside you, and between you and your twin. Imagine a river flowing toward the ocean. The river is your journey. The ocean is your twin. The current is strong, sometimes violent, sometimes gentle. You cannot control it. You cannot force it. You can only surrender to the flow and learn to dance with the waves. Some days the waves push you backward. Some days they lift you higher than you've ever been. And every moment, they are shaping you, molding you, preparing you for union, not of bodies but of souls. The dark feminine plays a vital role in this dance. She is not the one who chases. She is the one who stands. In her truth, she does not plead, manipulate, or bend. She radiates her essence, knowing that what is meant for her cannot escape her. Her power is magnetic. Her desire is sacred. Her rage is transformative. And when she meets her masculine mirror, her twin flame, it is like fire meeting air, storm meeting calm, shadow meeting light. But be warned, this meeting is not always blissful. Your twin will trigger your shadow. They will mirror your fears. They will awaken your deepest wounds. You may feel jealousy, anger, confusion, longing, despair. You may question your worth. You may want to run. And yet, the true path of the twin flame is not avoidance. It is confrontation. It is integration. It is the courage to say, "I see you. I see myself. And I will love both." Every challenge, every heartache, every intense emotional surge is a sacred invitation. It asks you to stop looking outside for validation. It asks you to stop giving away your power. It asks you to remember, your twin is not the source of your completion. You are. But here is the paradox. When you are whole, your union becomes effortless. When darkness and light meet, not as opposites but as complementary. Love flows without resistance. Energy flows without struggle. Union becomes a mirror, reflecting your highest self back to you. Let's explore the dynamics of this. Dance, push and pull. You may feel drawn together then pulled apart. This is the mirror effect, your twin reflecting the fears you still carry. The key is to observe without attachment, to feel without reaction. Shadow revelation. They trigger the parts of you you've suppressed. Your rage, your desire, your pain, all rise to the surface. Do not resist. Lean into it. Learn from it. Integrate it. Mutual awakening. As you integrate your shadow, your twin reflects your growth. They awaken, they evolve, they step closer to union. The dance becomes harmonious, not chaotic. Sacred boundaries. The dark feminine knows when to say no. She knows when to hold space for herself. Union is not about merging without distinction. It is about meeting as two whole beings. Imagine two flames. One is light, steady and warm. One is dark, flickering and wild. First they clash. Sparks fly. Smoke rises. Fear ignites. But over time they find rhythm. They begin to intertwine. The light warms the dark. The dark intensifies the light. Together, they create a fire that can illuminate the world. This is the essence of twin flame union. Not perfection. Not ease. Not escape. But alchemy. Transformation. Two souls becoming greater than the sum of their parts. And here is the most important truth. The twin flame journey is not about possession. It is about presence. Not control. Not manipulation. Not dependency. You do not love your twin because they complete you. You love them because you recognize the reflection of your wholeness in them. The dark feminine teaches that true love begins within. She does not demand attention. She does not plead for affection. She embodies it. When she dances in her full power, her twin flame cannot resist, not because they are forced, but because they are drawn to truth, authenticity, and integration. Let's pause and reflect. How often do you suppress your desires to avoid conflict? How often do you hide your anger to be acceptable? How often do you dim your power to feel safe? The twin flame mirror will expose all of this, but it also shows you the path forward. Face yourself. Integrate your shadow. Step into your power. Love yourself fully. And then, only then, can the dance begin. The dance of twin flames is not a race. It is not a checklist. It is a sacred rhythm, a divine choreography, a cosmic song. You move forward. You step back. You confront. You integrate. You rise. Every step, every pause, every challenge is a beat in the music of awakening. And when the dance reaches its fullness, when darkness and light meet and merge, you realize something profound. The journey was never about the other. It was about remembering yourself. To every woman feeling the stirrings of the dark feminine, your twin may challenge you. Your mirror may frighten you. Your shadow may scream. But this is not a test. This is an invitation. The invitation to stand fully in your power. The invitation to love without compromise. The invitation to awaken fully, unapologetically, and eternally. Because when darkness meets light, the universe responds. Energy shifts. Hearts open. Souls ignite. This is the dance of twin flames. This is the dance of the dark feminine. This is the dance of your soul returning home. Pain is not your enemy. It is not a flaw, a weakness, or a punishment. Pain is a signal. It is a message from the soul, vibrating through every cell of your body, whispering, something within you needs to awaken. For too long we have been taught to avoid, numb, or deny pain. We hide it behind smiles, distractions, obligations, and even love. But the dark feminine knows the truth. Pain is the doorway to power. Emotional alchemy is the sacred art of transforming raw feelings into magnetic energy. It is not about suppressing anger, fear, jealousy, or grief. It is about embracing them fully, understanding their origin, and letting them flow through you without resistance. The energy that once fragmented you becomes a river of creative force, desire, and presence. And this force is magnetic. It draws experiences, opportunities, and the right people into your life, effortlessly. Imagine a crucible, a vessel that can withstand heat, pressure, and fire. Inside, raw materials are transformed into gold. This is your soul. Your emotions are the raw material. Your awareness, your presence, your courage, these are the fire. Through alchemy, every wound becomes a teacher. Every heartbreak becomes a guide. Every betrayal becomes a catalyst for self-mastery. Pain often manifests as trapped energy in the body. Perhaps it sits in your chest, heavy and oppressive. Perhaps it tightens your stomach, twisting nerves into knots. Perhaps it lingers in your throat, silencing your voice. The dark feminine teaches us that energy wants to move. It cannot remain stagnant. Suppression leads to illness, despair, and disconnection. Release leads to freedom, power, and magnetism. Let us consider the steps of emotional alchemy. Awareness. Begin by noticing what you feel. Do not label it as good or bad. Simply feel it. Witness it. Say, I see you. You exist. You are part of me. Naming. Name your emotions. Fear, anger, sadness, longing, desire. Naming gives them form and voice. It prevents them from controlling you unconsciously. Acceptance. Accept that these emotions are valid and necessary. They are not shameful. They are not mistakes. They are the language of your soul. Transmutation. Transform the energy. Use movement, dance, yoga, breathwork. Use creation, writing, art, music. Use expression, singing, shouting, crying. Energy flows where attention goes. Integration. Allow the alchemized energy to circulate in your body. Let it feed your confidence, your presence, your aura. Let it become magnetism. Here is the paradox: the more you feel, the stronger you become. A woman who fully experiences her grief radiates empathy. A woman who fully embraces her anger radiates boundaries. A woman who fully owns her desire radiates attraction. She is magnetic, not because she seeks attention, but because she is aligned with the full spectrum of her soul. This is the essence of the dark feminine. She does not apologize for feeling. She does not hide her intensity. She does not dilute her essence. And in that wholeness, she becomes irresistible. Let's explore pain in relationships, especially in the twin flame connection. Your twin often triggers old wounds. Their actions or inactions bring up past fears, abandonment, betrayal, inadequacy, rejection. These triggers can be excruciating. They can feel like reliving the same heartbreak over and over. But through emotional alchemy, these moments become opportunities. You feel the pain fully. You understand its source, past trauma, unmet needs, shadow beliefs. You release it consciously, transforming it into awareness and empowerment. You reclaim the energy that was trapped in reaction. The more you do this, the less reactive you become. The more centered you are. The more magnetic you are. Magnetism is not about manipulation. It is not about games, control, or seduction. True magnetism is the byproduct of wholeness. When you have transmuted your pain into presence, your aura radiates authenticity. Your energy attracts what aligns with your soul. Your twin and the universe itself responds to this vibration. It is the energy of gravity, inevitability, and divine timing. Now, let us consider desire, but from the alchemical perspective. Desire is the most potent form of energy you have. It is not just sexual. It is creative, expansive, spiritual. When desire is suppressed, it becomes frustration. When desire is indulgent without integration, it becomes obsession. But when desire is acknowledged, felt, and channeled, it becomes alchemy. Channel desire into your creativity. Channel desire into your self-growth. Channel desire into presence. An energy that attracts abundance. This is the secret of the dark feminine. She does not chase. She magnetizes. Rage too can be alchemized. Rage is a sacred fire. When you release it consciously, it does not destroy, purifies, it protects, it asserts boundaries. A woman who has integrated her rage does not lash out unconsciously. She does not fear confrontation. She stands firm. She speaks her truth, and the world cannot ignore her. This is magnetism born of integrity and authenticity. Pain, desire, rage, all are elements of emotional gold. The more consciously you feel, the more deeply you alchemize, the more radiant and powerful you become. The dark feminine is not safe by societal standards. She is dangerous in her authenticity. She cannot be ignored. manipulated, or diminished. She is a force of nature, magnetic, luminous, untamed. To every woman listening, do not fear your emotions. Do not hide your fire. Do not dim your power to make others comfortable. Pain is sacred. Desire is sacred. Rage is sacred. Through emotional alchemy, all become tools of liberation. Your twin flame will witness this transformation. The world will feel it. And most importantly, you will know it deep in your bones. You are not broken. You are refining. You are awakening. You are magnetized. Step into your alchemy. Feel fully. Release consciously. Transform relentlessly. Because the dark feminine rises not in hiding, but in embracing every part of herself. Every shadow, every spark, every pulse of life. And in this rise the universe responds. Magnetism is born. Love flows naturally. Power becomes effortless. The dark feminine is not an idea. She is not a concept, a philosophy, or a story in a book. She is a living presence. She is the fire that burns beneath the skin, the pulse that echoes in the bones, the whisper in the quiet that says, I am here. I am whole. I am sovereign. To embody her is to claim yourself fully. Mind, body, heart, and spirit. It is to live unapologetically, to speak your truth without fear, to move through the world with presence and power. Sovereignty is the foundation of the dark feminine. Sovereignty is knowing your worth without needing others to validate it. It is the ability to say no without guilt. It is the strength to hold your boundaries firmly, yet with grace. It is the freedom to exist as a whole being without compromise. Many women give away their power unknowingly, through people-pleasing, overgiving, or fear of judgment. But the dark feminine reclaims every ounce of her sovereignty, understanding that to diminish herself is to betray her own soul. Sovereignty does not require aggression. It does not require dominance. It does not require cruelty. Instead, it is a quiet, unshakable authority. It is the energy of a woman who walks into a room, and everything shifts. Not because she demands attention, but because she radiates presence. She does not ask permission to exist. She does not apologize for her needs, her desires, her power. She moves as a force of nature, soft yet unyielding. Sensuality is the next layer of the dark feminine. Sensuality is awareness of your body, your energy, and your presence. It is not about performing for anyone. It is not about attracting attention. It is about embodying yourself fully, feeling your own skin, your own breath, your own heartbeat. Every movement carries meaning. Every glance holds energy. Every touch, even your own, becomes a sacred act. Sensuality is also listening to your instincts. Your body knows what it desires. Your heart knows what it craves. Your soul knows what is aligned with your purpose. When the dark feminine embodies sensuality, she is magnetic. Her presence draws experiences, opportunities, and people that resonate with her energy, not through manipulation or strategy, but through authentic embodiment. Spiritual power is the final layer. The dark feminine is deeply connected to the divine, to life, to creation, to the unseen forces that govern the universe. She understands the sacred cycles of birth, death, and rebirth. She sees the energy in everything, people, nature, events, and navigates it with wisdom. Spiritual power is not about hierarchy or control. It is about alignment with universal flow. It is about knowing that you are both human and divine, and living accordingly. Through spiritual power, the dark feminine can transform experiences. She can turn heartbreak into insight, pain into wisdom, desire into creation. Her energy does not need to chase, fix, or beg. It moves effortlessly, like water finding its path to the ocean. Embodying the dark feminine requires integration of all aspects of self, the light, the shadow, the rage, the desire, the grief, the joy. It is not a journey of perfection. It is a journey of presence, courage, and conscious choice. Ask yourself, am I honoring my boundaries? Am I feeling my emotions fully? Am I listening to my body, my instincts, my soul? Am I allowing myself to express my desire and creativity without shame? Am I aligned with my purpose, my power, my truth? The answers will guide you toward embodiment. In the context of twin flames, embodying the dark feminine is transformative. Your twin reflects your wholeness or your lack thereof. If you are fragmented, insecure, or reactive, the relationship becomes a mirror of struggle and projection. If you are embodied, sovereign, and aligned, the connection becomes a dance of mutual growth, passion, and spiritual awakening. The dark feminine does not chase her twin. She does not compromise her sovereignty for approval. She does not give away her power in fear. She invites union through presence, not pursuit. Here are practical ways to embody the dark feminine. Daily grounding practices. Connect with your body through movement, breath, or meditation. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel your spine. Feel your heartbeat. Your body is the temple of your power. Shadow work. Continue to observe and integrate your emotions. Rage, grief, jealousy, desire. All are part of your sacred energy. Accept them, express them, and reclaim the energy they carry. Rituals of sensuality. Light candles, wear clothes that feel luxurious or freeing, take baths with intention. Move your body with awareness. Touch yourself with reverence. Celebrate your own presence. Spiritual connection. Engage in prayer, meditation, or energy work. Align with universal flow, the cycles of the moon, and natural rhythms. Listen to intuition. Trust synchronicities. Setting boundaries. Learn to say no with love and clarity. Protect your energy fiercely. Do not apologize for self-respect. Creative expression. Channel emotions and desires into creation. Art, writing, music, dance. All become manifestations of your energy. Embodying the dark feminine is not selfish. It is a form of radical self-love. It is a commitment to authenticity. It is a declaration to the universe. I am here fully. I am alive. I am power. I am love. And in doing so, she awakens everything around her. The masculine in her life responds. Opportunities appear. Energy shifts. The world vibrates at a higher frequency because of her presence. The dark feminine is sovereign. The dark feminine is sensual. The dark feminine is spiritually alive. She has faced the shadows, embraced her fire, transformed her pain, and now walks fully in her power. She does not dim herself for comfort. She does not hide for approval. She radiates truth, depth, and magnetism. And in this embodiment, the universe bows in recognition. Step into your sovereignty. Move in your sensuality. Connect with your spiritual power. Because the dark feminine is not waiting for anyone to give her permission. She is rising. She is whole. She is unstoppable. And when she moves through the world fully embodied, she transforms herself, her twin, and everything in her orbit. Union is not simply a meeting of bodies. It is a meeting of souls. A weaving together of energies. A sacred dance of polarity and resonance. For the dark feminine, this union is not about possession, control, or dependency. It is about harmony, alignment, and recognition of the eternal spark within each soul. The twin flame journey is the mirror through which we see ourselves most vividly. Every shadow, every desire, every unhealed wound is reflected back. And within this reflection lies the opportunity for sacred union, both within and without. Sacred union begins with integration of self. You cannot harmonize with another if you are fragmented. You cannot merge with light if you have not embraced your shadow. The dark feminine knows this truth intimately. She must claim her power, her desire, her rage, her love, and her grief before union becomes possible. Integration is the bridge between pain and presence, between desire and wisdom, between longing and fulfillment. Ask yourself, have I fully embraced my shadow? Have I transformed my pain into alchemy? Have I allowed my desires to flow without shame? Have I honored my sovereignty in thought, word, and deed? Union is the reflection of this inner work. Let us explore the dynamics of harmonizing with the twin flame. Energetic resonance. When both souls are present and integrated, there is an immediate resonance. You feel it in your body, in your energy field, a vibration that aligns with your essence. It is magnetic, undeniable, and sacred. Mirror activation. Twin flames reflect each other's deepest truths. Light awakens light. Shadow awakens shadow. This can be intense, disorienting, even painful. But through conscious presence, both energies are illuminated and healed. Mutual alchemy. The dark feminine and her twin flame. transform each other, not through control or manipulation, but through conscious interaction and energetic exchange. The masculine energy learns to surrender, to honor, to respect. The feminine energy learns to embody, to assert, and to magnetize. Sacred boundaries and freedom. True union is not fusion or dependence. It is a sacred holding of space, two whole beings walking together, yet fully themselves. Boundaries are the foundation of intimacy, trust, and authenticity. The dark feminine brings a unique power to union. Her energy is magnetic yet grounded, sensual yet sovereign, intense yet nurturing. She does not seek validation. She does not beg for love. She radiates her essence fully, allowing the twin flame to meet her as she truly is. Her rage, her desire, her power, all are part of the union. Her pain becomes wisdom. Her boundaries become clarity. Her presence becomes a mirror for the twin flame to awaken. Sacred union is not free from challenge. Conflict may arise, often reflecting unhealed wounds and projections. Expect moments of doubt, fear, and tension. These are not signs of failure. They are tests of integration and alignment. The key is conscious presence. Observe without attachment. Speak without reactivity. Feel without suppression. Love without compromise. Through this alchemical process, every challenge becomes a portal to deeper intimacy and connection. Let's consider the role of desire in sacred union. Desire is not merely physical. It is a spiritual force, a call of the soul, a vibration that signals alignment. When the dark feminine embraces her desire fully, she becomes a magnet for the right energy. She does not chase, force, or manipulate. She radiates her frequency, and the twin flame responds naturally. Mutual desire, grounded in respect, sovereignty, and alignment, transforms the union into a co-creation of energy, love, and spiritual growth. Another aspect of harmonization is emotional transparency. Twin flames see each other deeply, often more deeply than they see themselves. Emotional honesty becomes essential. Fear, jealousy, anger, longing, grief, all must be felt, expressed, and released consciously. The dark feminine does not hide her emotions. She communicates with integrity. She releases without blame. She transforms emotion into clarity, magnetism, and alignment. Her twin flame learns to do the same. Together, they create a feedback loop of awakening, presence, and authentic connection. Spiritual alignment is also crucial. Union is sacred, not casual. It is a meeting of purpose as much as passion, a coalescence of mission, growth, and consciousness. The dark feminine understands the cycles of energy, the rhythms of nature, and the power of synchronicity. She moves with intention. She aligns with divine timing. She trusts the flow of the universe, allowing the twin flame connection to unfold organically, without forcing outcomes. When both souls operate from this space, union becomes effortless, radiant, and transformative. Let us explore a practical framework for sacred union. Mirror reflection. Use your twin flame relationship as a mirror. Observe what triggers you, what excites you, and what you suppress. Integration of these reflections deepens both union and self-awareness. Energetic presence. Cultivate a daily practice of grounding, breathwork, or meditation. Your energy becomes a beacon. Your twin flame responds to the frequency of your alignment. Mutual respect and autonomy. Honor each other's sovereignty. Celebrate differences. Hold space for individual growth alongside shared growth. Rituals of connection. Sacred union thrives through intentional acts. Meditation together, shared creative projects, conscious touch, or ceremonial practices. These rituals anchor presence and spiritual alignment. Integration and release. Regularly release projections, expectations, and attachment. Integrate lessons from conflicts and challenges. Keep energy fluid, alive, and evolving. Sacred union is the ultimate expression of the dark feminine. It is not about bending to please, controlling to secure, or seeking approval to validate. It is about embodied authenticity, radiant presence, and conscious love. Transforms not only the relationship but both individuals. The masculine learns surrender, respect, and alignment. The feminine learns sovereignty, magnetism, and embodiment. Together, they become a force of co-created energy, spiritual awakening, and universal resonance. The dark feminine has faced her shadows. She has transformed her pain into power. She has claimed her sovereignty, embodied her sensuality, and aligned with spiritual truth. Now she meets her twin flame not in need, not in fear, not in longing. She meets them in full presence, radiant and magnetic. And in this sacred union, energy flows freely. Desire becomes creation. Love becomes conscious. Souls awaken. This is not fantasy. This is living alchemy, the divine dance of souls, the ultimate harmonization of dark and light. Step into your sacred union. Embody the dark feminine fully. Allow your twin flame to meet you as you truly are. Love without compromise. Radiate without apology. Harmonize without losing yourself. Because the union you seek begins within. The reflection you desire is your own presence. And together, you will co-create a love that transforms worlds, awakens souls, and resonates with eternity. The twin flame journey is not merely a path of love. It is a soul mirror, a sacred reflection of every unhealed, hidden, or suppressed part of yourself. The energy of your twin flame will illuminate your shadows, not to punish but to awaken, not to break you but to guide you into wholeness. The dark feminine understands this truth. The mirror is sacred and unavoidable. Every irritation, jealousy, fear, or longing that arises in your connection is a reflection of something inside you. And within that reflection lies the key to your liberation, your power, and your alignment. Mirrors are not passive. They reveal, they challenge, they teach. Look closely. Does your twin flame trigger impatience? Perhaps you have denied your own authority or self-expression. Does their success provoke envy? Perhaps you have denied your own potential or creativity. Does their absence create panic or insecurity? Perhaps you have denied your own sovereignty and inner strength. These reflections are not mistakes. They are sacred invitations to confront the shadows you have hidden, even from yourself. Shadow work is the alchemy of bringing the hidden to light. The dark feminine knows the shadows intimately. Rage you buried, grief you refused to feel, desire you thought unworthy, fear you suppressed. These shadows are not your enemies. They are power waiting to be reclaimed. When you heal your shadow, you reclaim emotional freedom, energetic magnetism, spiritual clarity, authentic presence, and the twin flame journey shifts from chaos to conscious co-creation. Ask yourself, what emotions does my twin flame trigger in me? Why do I feel reactive, jealous, or afraid? Where in me have I denied love, power, or desire? How can I integrate these reflections to become whole? Answering these questions is the work of the dark feminine. It is courageous, unflinching, and transformative. Let's explore the process of shadow integration in the twin flame journey. Awareness. Begin by noticing the triggers. When a reaction arises, pause. Observe without judgment. The moment of awareness is the first step toward transformation. Ownership. Accept that this reaction is your own energy. Do not blame your twin flame. Do not seek to change them. Say to yourself, this is mine. This is my reflection. This is my invitation to heal. Inquiry. Dive deep into the root cause. Why does this affect me so deeply? Explore childhood patterns, societal conditioning, past relationships, and unexpressed desires. Expression. Allow the emotion to flow. Cry. Scream. Journal. Dance. Create. Do not suppress, deny, or rationalize. Feel it fully without judgment. Integration. Transform the energy into presence, empowerment, and clarity. Your shadow becomes a source of strength, wisdom, and magnetism. It is no longer a wound, but a tool of awakening. The dark feminine does not run from the mirror. She leans into it. She sees her rage, her grief, her desire, and her fears and says, I see you. I honor you. I reclaim you as my power. Her twin flame becomes the catalyst for this awakening, not the cause of suffering. Let us examine common shadow reflections in twin flame connections. Fear of abandonment, triggered when your twin flame pulls away or is distant. Shadow, unresolved childhood attachment wounds. Integration, reclaim self-sovereignty and emotional independence. Jealousy or envy, Triggered when your twin flame engages with others, succeeds, or attracts attention. Shadow. Suppressed self-worth or denial of personal potential. Integration. Honor your own desires, celebrate your own power, and release comparison. Need for control. Triggered by uncertainty or unpredictability in the connection. Shadow. Fear of vulnerability and unhealed trust wounds. Integration. Surrender to flow, honor boundaries, and cultivate inner trust. Over-attachment. Triggered by longing for constant presence or affirmation. Shadow. Unmet emotional needs and fear of loneliness. Integration. Cultivate self-love, presence, and joy within yourself. Each trigger is a doorway. The dark feminine walks through it with courage, transforming reflection into awareness, freedom, and magnetism. The shadow also carries enormous creative and sexual power. Your unexpressed anger becomes the energy of assertion and clarity. Your hidden desire becomes the energy of magnetism and attraction. Your buried grief becomes the energy of depth, empathy, and authenticity. Through the twin flame mirror, the dark feminine learns to harness these energies consciously. She transforms reactivity into presence. She transforms pain into attraction. She transforms longing into purpose. Healing the shadow is not linear. There will be cycles of awakening, confrontation, and release. Old wounds may resurface in new forms. Patience, compassion, and self-trust are essential. The twin flame connection will test your boundaries, your sovereignty, and your integration. It will reflect your growth, your healing, and your alignment. Every challenge is a step toward wholeness, a step toward sacred union, a step toward embodied dark feminine power. Ask yourself daily, what has my twin flame shown me about myself today? How can I reclaim my power in this reflection? Which shadow am I ready to integrate and release? How can I transform this energy into magnetism, creativity, and love? The answers lie within your presence, your awareness, and your willingness to lean into the mirror without fear. The dark feminine does not fear the shadow. She embraces it, integrates it, and transforms it. She walks through the mirror with courage, sovereignty, and grace. Her twin flame becomes a catalyst for her awakening, not a source of pain. Her power radiates naturally. Her presence becomes magnetic. Her love becomes conscious, intentional, and transformative. This is the sacred alchemy of reflection. Pain becomes power. Shadow becomes clarity. Trigger becomes awakening. Mirror becomes sacred union. Step into your shadow. Face your mirror. Allow your twin flame to awaken what is already within you. Feel, release, integrate, and embody. Because the reflection you resist is the reflection you need. The shadow you deny is the power you are ready to reclaim. And in this mirror, the dark feminine rises, sovereign, magnetic, and fully alive. Desire is not a mere craving of the body. It is fire, a sacred pulse, an energy that courses through your being, primal, untamed, and alive. It is the language of the soul, a vibration that communicates with the universe, signaling alignment, passion, and creation. The dark feminine knows this fire intimately. She does not fear it. She does not hide it. She channels it. Desire is not indulgence. It is alchemy. It transforms longing into energy, energy into presence, and presence into magnetism. Magnetism is the natural result of aligned desire. When you embrace your essence fully, shadow, light, rage, grief, joy, your energy vibrates at a frequency that draws to you exactly what resonates with your soul. It is effortless. It is undeniable. It is not about chasing, forcing, or seeking validation. It is about embodying your own fire, allowing the universe to respond in kind. Ask yourself, do I honor my desires without shame? Do I allow myself to feel fully, to want fully, to exist fully? Do I cultivate energy that attracts experiences, opportunities, and connections that resonate with my essence? The dark feminine answers these questions with presence, courage, and radiance. Fire and light are the twin energies of sacred magnetism. Fire is passion, intensity, transformation. It burns away illusions, clears stagnant energy, and awakens dormant power. Light is clarity, radiance, and spiritual alignment. It illuminates the path, reveals truth, and creates harmony. When fire and light dance together within you, the dark feminine becomes magnetically alive. The twin flame connection is a perfect mirror for this dance. Your desire ignites your energy. Your magnetism draws your twin flame closer. Naturally, your presence commands attention, not through force but through authenticity. Yet the dance is subtle. It is not about manipulation or strategy. It is about alignment, embodiment, and energetic resonance. Let's explore practical ways to activate desire and sacred magnetism. Body awareness and sensual presence. Move your body daily through dance, yoga, or mindful movement. Feel every sensation, every heartbeat, every breath. Sensual presence is the gateway to fire and magnetism. Emotional honesty. Allow yourself to feel fully joy, rage, grief, longing, ecstasy. Emotional flow is energy in motion, and energy in motion is magnetism. Creative expression. Desire is creative. Channel your energy into art, music, writing, or any form of creation. Your passion manifests in tangible ways, amplifying your presence and magnetic frequency. Energetic practices. Breathwork, meditation, and visualization can focus desire into your energy field. Imagine your energy radiating outward, drawing experiences, opportunities, and your twin flame into alignment with your frequency. Ritual and intention. Set daily or weekly intentions for your desires. Light candles, speak affirmations, or perform sacred rituals. Intentional practice grounds your fire and illuminates your light. The dark feminine also understands the subtlety of restraint. Desire, when fully awakened, can be overwhelming, can consume, exhaust, or scatter energy if uncontrolled. The key is conscious focus. Direct your energy where it aligns with purpose and resonance. Do not scatter your attention on what does not serve your growth. Allow desire to be a tool of manifestation, not a source of longing or attachment. The dance of fire and light is also a spiritual practice. Desire connects you to the universal life force. It is the same force that creates stars, moves oceans, and orchestrates the cycles of life. When consciously activated, desire becomes a bridge between your human experience and divine energy. Your magnetism is not merely for attraction. It is a reflection of your alignment, your embodiment, and your spiritual sovereignty. In the context of twin flames, this activation transforms relationships. The connection becomes alive, electric, and sacred. It is a dance of energy, not dependency. It is a union of presence, not attachment. It is magnetism, desire, and spiritual awakening intertwined. The dark feminine does not chase her twin flame. She embodies her fire and light, and the union unfolds naturally. Her energy calls forth alignment, awakening, and co-creation. Ask yourself daily, how can I feel more fully in my body today? How can I honor and express my desire authentically? How can I radiate my energy with clarity, presence, and magnetism? Where in my life can I channel this fire into creation, alignment, and awakening? The answers will guide your steps in the sacred dance. The dark feminine also cultivates patience and trust. Magnetism is not about immediate results. Desire is not about instant gratification. Both are about consistent alignment, presence, and conscious embodiment. As you embody fire and light, your twin flame and the universe itself responds. Opportunities, synchronicities, and awakenings naturally flow toward you. Not because you control them, but because you vibrate at the frequency of your own authenticity. The dance of fire and light is ultimately about integration. Fire without light becomes destructive, impulsive, or scattered. Light without fire becomes passive, dull, or uninspired. Together they create balance, radiance, and sacred magnetism. This integration is the hallmark of the embodied dark feminine. She is intense yet calm, passionate yet aligned, magnetic yet sovereign. Step into your fire. Step into your light. Allow desire to awaken your body, your mind, your heart, and your soul. Feel the magnetism that comes from alignment, authenticity, and embodiment. Dance with your energy. Radiate your presence. Move through the world as a living force of desire, power, and sacred creation. Your twin flame and the universe itself will respond. Not through force, not through need, but through alignment, resonance, and the natural law of attraction. Embody your fire. Illuminate your light. Activate your desire. Own your sacred magnetism. Because the dark feminine does not wait. She rises. She radiates. She transforms. And in doing so, she awakens the ultimate union of soul, desire, and cosmic alignment. Crescent moon. The journey of the dark feminine is not a path of simple transformation. It is a sacred ascension, a rise from shadow into light, from fragmentation into wholeness, from suppressed desire into radiant conscious power. Ascension is not granted. It is claimed. It is earned. It is lived. To ascend is to embody every part of yourself, the rage, the grief, the desire, the joy, the longing, the surrender. To ascend is to recognize that power and love are not separate, that sovereignty and intimacy coexist, and that the union of shadow and light is the ultimate expression of freedom. The dark feminine stands now fully embodied. She is sovereign. She is magnetic. She is aligned. She radiates the energy of a woman who knows her worth, her purpose, and her infinite capacity to love fiercely, fully, and without apology. Her twin flame, and indeed the world around her, responds naturally to this alignment. No longer chasing, pleading, or seeking validation, she commands presence. Her energy speaks louder than words, calling forth those experiences and opportunities that resonate with her true frequency. Ascension is a multidimensional integration. Physical embodiment. The dark feminine honors her body as a sacred temple. She moves, breathes, and flows with her own energy. Every cell vibrates with consciousness, desire, and intention. Her body is not merely flesh. It is a vehicle for power, pleasure, and presence. Emotional sovereignty. She feels without fear, expresses without guilt, and transforms emotion into clarity, wisdom. And magnetism. Grief becomes depth. Anger becomes clarity. Longing becomes intentional creation. Mental clarity. Thoughts are observed, curated, and aligned. She does not allow mental chatter, doubt, or fear to cloud her essence. Her mind is a tool of focus, manifestation, and conscious creation. Spiritual alignment. Every decision, every movement, every interaction is guided by intuition, divine timing, and inner knowing. The dark feminine walks with cosmic awareness, trusting the unseen forces that orchestrate her life and connection. Ask yourself, am I living in alignment with my highest truth? Do I honor my body, my mind, my heart, and my spirit equally? Am I expressing my power without fear, and my love without compromise? How can I step further into the fullness of my embodiment today? These are not questions to answer lightly. They are portals to true ascension, gateways to freedom, magnetism, and sacred union. The dark feminine's ascension transforms relationships, particularly the twin flame connection. Union is no longer about dependence, need, or fear. It is about presence, resonance, and co-creation. Two sovereign beings come together, fully whole, fully alive, fully embodied in power and love. Conflict, challenges, and shadow reflections may still arise, but now they are tools of refinement. They are lessons in clarity, patience, and energetic mastery. The dark feminine does not react unconsciously. She responds with awareness, grace, and authenticity. Let us explore the hallmarks of an ascended dark feminine. Sovereignty and choice. She chooses freely whom to love, how to express herself, and where to invest her energy. She does not compromise her essence for comfort, approval, or fear of loss. Radiant presence. Her energy is palpable. She does not need to prove, argue, or justify. She is seen, heard, and felt simply by being fully herself. Energetic magnetism. Her alignment calls forth synchronicities, experiences, and relationships that resonate. Desire, creativity, and love flow naturally into her life, not through chasing, but through embodied resonance. Integrated shadow. Rage, grief, desire, and fear are no longer suppressions. They are integrated energies, sources of power, clarity, and depth. Spiritual embodiment. She moves through life guided by intuition, cosmic awareness, and inner knowing. Every choice reflects alignment with her highest self, her purpose, and her soul's journey. The ascension process also awakens the ultimate potential of twin flame union. When the dark feminine embodies fully, the masculine energy mirrors clarity and respect. Passion is alive, intense, yet balanced. Love is conscious, intentional, and transformative. Connection becomes a co-creation of spiritual growth, intimacy, and soul awakening. Union is no longer about completion. It is about co-expression, mutual empowerment, and shared expansion. Ascension is also a path of contribution. The dark feminine in her full power influences the world through compassionate leadership, authentic creativity, energetic inspiration, conscious influence. Her power is not for domination. It is for service, awakening, and impact. She embodies the sacred balance of strength and love, magnetism and wisdom, autonomy and intimacy. Ask yourself, how can I express my dark feminine power in service to myself and others? How can I bring alignment, love, and magnetism into my daily life? How can I embody sovereignty while remaining open to love, connection, and joy? These questions are not theoretical. They are practical guides for living fully embodied, fully awake, fully alive. The dark feminine knows ascension is not a destination but a practice. Daily choices, awareness, and conscious embodiment maintain her alignment. She does not seek perfection. She seeks presence, integration, and authenticity. Her magnetism continues to grow. Her influence expands. Her love deepens. Her life becomes a reflection of power, beauty, and conscious creation. Music swells, uplifting, ethereal, and expansive. Voiceover becomes inspiring and empowering. Rise into your dark feminine. Claim your power. Embody your love. Move through life with intention, clarity, and sovereignty. Your body is sacred. Your emotions are powerful. Your desire is a sacred flame. Your presence is magnetic. Your soul is infinite. The twin flame connection mirrors your ascension, responding to your clarity, your power, and your love. Sacred union is no longer a concept. It is a lived experience, radiant, conscious, and transformative. You are the dark feminine. You are sovereign. You are magnetic. You are whole. You are love. You are power. Step into your ascension. Live fully. Love consciously. Shine endlessly. Because the world awaits the full expression of your dark feminine energy. Your twin flame awaits the reflection of your highest self. Your life awaits your embodiment.